What's up, guys? I'm back with another vlog, and today I don't know where am I, but I know how did I reach over here. It's in the middle of somewhere, but nowhere. What I mean is, I'm here in near to Kamshet and on the way to Lonavala. This place looks epic, and to be honest, what a wonderful place that you can be when you have your beautiful machine next to you and next to the hill, or you can call this a mountain. The land is completely vacant, pin drop silence, and close to nature. So obviously, this is the best place that I can find where I can talk to you all guys after a very long time. And I know I have not been doing these kind of videos, but honestly, I thought it's time to come and speak to you and give you my personal opinion about the new KTM 390 Adventure that is present in the market, and what a wonderful machine it is. So without any further ado, let's get into the topic and discuss something important what we have in the market and for every one of us. The power delivery, the smoothness of the engine on the KTM 390 Adventure is flawless. The engine, the bike can definitely fly. It's a mile muncher. The smoothness, the output, the delivery of the engine is flawless. And honestly, it is definitely different from the predecessor. Now, obviously, both are the same engine. However, the output is completely different. It is more refined, more smooth, and more agile, making the bike more slimmer. It performs really smooth and fantastic. And since it is a Dakar inspired bike, I just can't tell you how fantastic the engine is, and how the way the bike pulls, the way the bike performs is top notch. And honestly, my opinion towards this engine is excellent. The delivery is fantastic. It's not linear. It is not you can say normal. It has a really good punch. So it is fantastic. Yeah, I'll not get into the specs, but I'll quickly summarize a few points and specification of the bike. Yesterday, I took a test ride of the 390 Adventure, the new one, and honestly, my personal opinion towards the bike is a thumbs up, and it is excellent. They have raised the level from the standard KTM 390 Adventure, which is the predecessor that came 3-4 years back, and honestly, they have actually raised the bar. And honestly speaking, the bike is phenomenal. There are ifs and buts about the bike, but I will tell you the positive things as well as the cons about the current KTM 390 Adventure. So the current KTM 390 Adventure is more powerful, more torquier than the old 390 Adventure. And when it comes to the power figure, 46 bhp, 39 meters of torque, and really fantastic smooth refined engine than its predecessor. Honestly, the bike is phenomenal. I took a test ride yesterday, and obviously the engine feels more clean, more smooth, and yeah, it has the best part on that engine is that it has a very good refinement. And honestly, from the predecessor, if I have to say, the smoothness is so good. And when it comes to riding the bike on a lower rev, let's say if you're on a fifth gear and your speed is around let's say 20-30, the bike's flawlessly works, and there is no problem. There's no knocking, nothing at all. Fantastic. I did take a chance to start the gear, moving the bike at fifth gear from 0 speed, and it went flawlessly without any problem. What are the changes in the bike? There are many, guys, many. and honestly it is really good to see these changes and that has taken place on the KTM 390 Adventure. And yes, KTM has definitely listened to his customer, and they have given a wonderful Dakar inspired bike, and yeah, it looks excellent to me. So let's talk about the advanced aids that they have provided for the KTM 390 Adventure. Now the electronics specs, if I have to talk about, is the cornering traction control. Yeah, it works phenomenally, and as compared to the old one. Then we have the Quick Shifter Plus. The previous version on the previous gen bike, the Quick Shifter was not that good. It was not promising. It was as if it feels like it's better that they would not have given it to us, because it is not required. I've been using my KTM 390 Adventure from last 4 years, and I have never used it. I have tried testing it out, but sometimes the gear shifting doesn't work. It makes too much of noises, and it feels like the gear shifting is not done completely. And that's the reason why, listening to the comments and the opinions of the customer, and I would say KTM has given a flawless, a mind-blowing, if I have to say, buttery smooth quick shifter for the new KTM 390 Adventure. On higher speed, the quick shifter shifting up is fantastic, and if you are shifting it down, excellent. Thumbs up to KTM, honestly. Now moving with that, we have the one of the greatest thing that they have introduced is cruise control and the speed control as well. Now I don't need to explain you all about that, because you guys are a bike enthusiast, and I know what cruise control is. The cruise control on endless highway works fantastic, and speed control as well. You have the switches over there where you can set your speed control and the cruise control as well, so it works phenomenally. On the bike is there are 3 riding modes: rain, we have street, and as well as the off-road. And it's just not the name, the functions and everything is displayed on the beautiful TFT that they have introduced. Now this particular TFT is also present on the big bikes as well, and on the 790 or the 890. And honestly, the way the display is, it's a cherry on the top. The way how when you change the settings of the bike, the way how the TFT responds, there is no lag, nothing as such. The way it describes, for anyone to understand, for a layman to understand what exactly changes that you're doing to your bike, what electronic settings that you're setting up for your bike, so that how your bike behaves, it displays with the picture of the bike. If you're changing your traction control, or let's say if you are changing setting up your cruise control, or let's say if you want to change your switching off your ABS that we have, with the fantastic ABS that you have on this bike, works phenomenally. The way it describes, it's excellent. The TFT is excellent, and this is one of the best things I like about the KTM 390 Adventure. And without any doubt, if you are planning to buy this KTM 390 Adventure, please go ahead, because I've seen lots and lots of information on the website, on YouTube. A lot of people on the Instagram, they have said that the fit and finish of the bike is not that great. I personally have seen the bike, I have ridden the bike, I have checked out the bike. The quality, the finish and everything is top notch. And honestly, if I have to say, before seeing all these videos or even mine, I would request you all, please go to the nearest dealer and check out the bike, see personally, feel it, ride it, understand it, and then go for it. Rather than seeing videos will not actually justify anything. Justifying your personal touch, your understanding towards the bike, is when you physically approach and see the bike, ride the bike, and understand it. That is how you will come to know how KTM are building their bikes for their customers and how they listen to it. In order to protect your beautiful engine that KTM has provided, you need a good solid protection, and that's where bash plate comes into picture. And yes, they have given a solid bash plate that can take heavy beatings when you're going off-road trails. And honestly, it is better than its predecessor, which we used to get a plastic one. And yeah, we really like what KTM is doing, and thumbs up to KTM's for listening to us. The one thing that I wanted to mention about the bike, the flaw, is that the seat. If you look at the seat, yeah, it's become more narrower. Now for me, when I took a test ride yesterday, the seat was really uncomfortable. It needs more space for the rider. There is no room enough for the pillion to sit, and honestly, that's not we are grateful about. Yeah, KTM has to make some changes on that, or let's say if there's another gen that is going to come out, they need to make it little bit broader in size, the seat, so that it makes the rider, or the let's say for the pillion rider as well, more comfortable for long distance touring. We know it's a Dakar inspired bike, it's a rally spec, it's become more slimmer, more lighter, 5 kilo lighter. I understand that. The fuel capacity, I guess it's almost the same, or yeah, it's almost the same, but we need to understand the rider, the comfortability, the ergonomics, everything. They have definitely changed it. A new chassis has been introduced, everything is new. But yeah, when it comes to seat, I don't think so anyone would compromise. So if you can compromise that particular part, and I would definitely say, and I would definitely vouch, please go for it and ride the bike. The last few things, I'm not talking about the brakes, as we already know the braking on the front and the rear are being provided by Bybray. Excellent. And yeah, it works really phenomenal, the same brakes. Talking about the headlight, yes, there's a very drastic, of a big amount of change that they have introduced. Projector lights and the throw on the roads, or when you're riding on highways for long distance, the throw of the light is fantastic. The previous gen, please do understand by my expression, I don't need to explain, it was pathetic, man, pathetic. And that's the reason why I have yeah, please don't laugh, or you can enjoy with me as well. Yeah, I do have 6 LED fog lamps connected to my bike. Just for the highway purpose, I do use only 2 when I'm riding on the street. But yeah, the headlight doesn't work. It has a worse throw, and the projecting light is next to 0. So yeah, this is what they have on the bike. The suspension on the front and as well as the rear, both are adjustable, and they works excellent. So this one is really different. The seat height, the ground clearance has increased of this bike with a very good margin. But honestly speaking, let's say if someone now, as I wanted to tell you about this, because most of the people might have gone and checked the old 390 Adventure, and they found that the old 390 Adventure was taller for them. I'm 5'7", and I tiptoe on my current 390 Adventure. That's the older gen, and the current 390 Adventure that we have is more taller than my bike. And I even had a thought that yes, it will be very difficult for me to ride that bike because it's much more taller, maybe 20, 30 or 50 mm more. But honestly, the suspension is the important thing. The suspension on the front and the rear plays an important role over here. Now, my bike has a stiffer suspension. It's non-adjustable, both at the front and as well as the rear. The standard version never had that. But the current one, the current 390 Adventure has adjustable suspension on the front and at the rear. So the suspension, damping and rebound and the compression, absorbing, everything is so smooth, is so soft that even a person who has a height like me, 5'7", can easily sit and ride the bike, and in any busy traffic can also stand on the bike without any problem. For me, I do have a tiptoe. I do a tiptoe on the 390 Adventure, but yeah, it is just the same thing. Because of the suspension, the bike goes down, and because of that, you are able to reach to the ground easily. So on, if I have to say, on the off-roads, yeah, if you wear your boots, obviously you will not be tiptoeing. You'll be much more easier and much more closer to the ground, and you will be able to do off-roads easily as well. But yeah, again, what I would say, this is my opinion, my personal opinion, because this is how I feel, this is how I tested it yesterday, and I can justify that yes, I can ride that bike off-road as well as on the street without any problem. And for you, I would suggest, please walk down to the nearest dealer, check it out, understand the bike, and then go for it. Quality, fantastic. So the other day I found out that one of a guy here in India somewhere bought a KTM 390 Adventure, and on taking the delivery of the bike, when he switched on the bike, the TFT stopped working, and he posted a reel stating that as soon as I took the delivery, the TFT stopped working. So he started complaining that KTM, the build quality is not that good, this is not working, this is not doing good for me, and honestly it's worst. But after 2-3 days, I found out another reel from the same guy stating that within 10-15 minutes the company the company claimed the TFT and gave him a new one and installed it, and it works absolutely fine. See, sometimes it happens, sometimes this problem, all these issues happen, but yeah, if your brand doesn't listen to you, that is where you complain. But if your brand listens to you on the spot and rectifies the problem and gives you everything what you ask for, what you have paid for, with a service like this, it's a thumbs up. And that's why KTM, we know how KTM is. It's not a local brand as such. It's not that the brand was just created. It's a generation brand. It's a phenomenal, an Austrian brand, and I can vouch for it because I've been riding KTM from the time it has been launched here in India. And yeah, there was another guy who had gone I guess somewhere in Ladakh or somewhere on the way, on the highway, on the middle of the journey, some bolts came off from the guards, and honestly he started complaining the build quality. Again, the build quality is not that good, everything is flying off, and we don't know how to ride this bike. Lot of issues, bike stopped working, XYZ. But let me tell you guys, you are riding a KTM 390 Adventure. It's a single cylinder, you will have vibrations, and yeah, my current bike also has vibration, and it's a powerful machine. It has more power than any other bike in its segment. And honestly, for this kind of bike, you need to understand there is a way how you ride. So if you keep on revving your bike to the max, there's a possibility the nut bolts may fly off. If you're riding at a smooth let's say at a 90-100 km/h, I don't think so that will ever come up, because I've been riding my KTM and I have never experienced it. I have my fellow friends who have been riding it, they haven't on any other bike as well. And in case by riding that kind of speed and you have experienced it, understandable, it is a safety issue. Take it to your dealer, let them know that this has happened, and they will get it fixed. And I don't think so you will have that kind of problem. You trusted the brand, and that's why you bought the bike. And you need to trust your vehicle as well. Most important thing is that you need to keep checking your bike every week. You don't need to go to any service center to check your bike. You personally can check it out. I love my bike. I keep on checking every now and then, so that I don't experience a problem. Again, it's a non-living thing. The bike won't tell you that there is something wrong with me, or this part is not functioning, apart from the warning light that you get on your TFT. So let's say if there is any bolt that is coming loose, you need to check it out, because it's your bike. You have spent money on it. So what I would suggest is, guys, please check your bike every now and then, so that you can enjoy what you have purchased. And honestly, you will not experience any kind of problem. And that is my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys wanna take it, but I know you will take it in a positive way. But during this conversation with you all, guys, if you felt that I am somewhere wrong, please do comment and let me know, so that I can correct myself. Apart from that, if you guys like my video, and please do subscribe to my channel, and thank you for all your love and your comments as well. So keep riding and ride safe.